See, we talked about a group of people that we gotta absolutely ignore, and there's another group of people that we gotta be like, hey, why can't you see the light? And Chris Broussard is a good example of that. Chris Broussard is from my great state, from what I see. Chris Broussard has always, when it comes to sports, you may not love his takes, but I think he comes off as pretty civil. And I can't understand what was going on in Chris Broussard's mind when he posted this. And this is the next group of people that I think are hiding behind the guise of I see both sides and I'm apolitical and religion. And in my opinion, they need to be told as respectful as possible, right? They aren't, posturing as MAGA, but they need to be told as respectful as possible that you are doing the work. You are doing the work of, let's just call it fascism, right? Chris Broussard, I know to you on surface level, this reads normal to you if you can't clearly and blowly state the craziness of Democrats being unable to define what a woman is and saying men can get pregnant, and the madness of Republicans defending the murder of Alex Pretty, then you're following a political party ideology and not the Lord Jesus Christ. First and foremost, let's start from the end. I apologize if I mispronounced Alex's last name here, but why do we hide behind Jesus so much? Why do we hide behind Jesus so much? If Jesus was to read this statement right now, he would, number one, probably tell you to keep him out of politics. He doesn't know what you're talking about. Number two, from my readings, I may not be as religious, but from my readings, the state, executing someone is something that Jesus would prioritize as higher, right? Now, whether or not people identify as a certain sexuality, certain gender, I think Jesus would tell you to love thy neighbor, right? So that's number one. Number two, what do y'all think the Democratic Party is? Because for you to want to both sides this and kind of signal to the general public that you're not, I'm on both sides, it's never been easier, in my opinion, to choose a side right now. And that side isn't Democrat or Republican. It's the side of cult-like hive mind people who aren't conservative. This is the best time to be conservative, to be the conservative that you are. And that conservative is focused on government overreach, like right now with ICE. That conservative isn't trying to, hide behind Jesus and then use gay people as, trans people as fodder. Right? That conservative person, which is what you are, and that's okay, knows how to deal with issues when they arise. Because what it sounds like you're doing is almost putting this stuff on equal plane. Like I said, what do you guys think the Democratic Party is? Because if you ask most leftists, most more liberal people, they don't find the Democratic Party as radical as you think they are. A lot of these folks are geriatric, sitting in the middle, trying to protect purple seats, people that are not out here advancing some, trans agenda. No. So not only have you thrown trans people under the bus by pretty much equating these two things, you have a heavy misread on the Democratic Party, and you're using the Democratic Party to hide behind the bigotry. Because they choose not to demonize these trans people, you're essentially saying, I have to be able to consider the alternative that demonize these people and use them, for their fear mongering to garner votes. Again, we got to go past surface level thinking. Nothing would have been wrong, Chris, as a conservative, as a follower of Jesus Christ, to just denounce this. This video could go a lot longer because I could deepen a lot more, but hey, fam, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, this reminds me, it's not funny, but this reminds me of like, you have been minding your business, just eating your burger. You had someone just chilling and two guys getting into it, and somebody's like, yo, what you looking at? That's what you did to trans people here. What you looking at? And this, again, why I wish we had, more political party, because yes, there is a more progressive side of the Democratic Party that I guess you're trying to paint as this, but they don't have much control of the party. right? They don't have much control in the party. It's such a minute issue. I think most progressive people want a life, and I think Zoran Mamdani said it best. We want a life with dignity for all. So yes, all of us are different. All of us have different thoughts. We have different ideologies, and I want a life with dignity. That doesn't mean it doesn't come with having, decent discussions and passing legislation that makes sense. But for you to use them as the face of this, it's nasty work, Chris. And I feel like, I don't know people, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I've watched you enough on TV. You speak very in a very calm manner sometimes. You love your job. You talk about religion. I want to point out a time when you had a basketball court from around the way and you were talking to the kids and giving the kids game. You got to take this. This is like, sometimes you got to tell the OGs they wrong. That's what this is. Respectfully.